for Libra, and I am doing a read for Career Money Finance for the month of October. My last video cut off just slightly, so I wasn't able to read the advice cards and so on. So I'm just going to merge everything together with the Career Money Finance. So far, this spread looks pretty amazing. I just have some issues with memory on my phone right now, so I have to go live enable for that too, just for me to bypass things. I have to transfer my phone over, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so just wanted to get through this one here for you for Career Money Finance for the month of October 2022. And again, this is for Libra. So in just taking a look at some of the cards here, these are pretty amazing, significant cards here. There's lots of major arcana. We are looking at the Hierophant coming through here. We also have the card of the Judgment. And certainly there are these are the outcome cards, which all fell out together, which was pretty amazing. So I don't know what more can be said here, but there's definitely something that's coming through. There is, and again, for some of you, this is a general reading. For some of you, this is going to, manifest, give or take a little bit more time. And certainly if it's not your story, it's not your story. But for those that I am speaking to, and whoever this resonates for, this is sort of the picture that's coming through. There's definitely, as I say, some major arcana here. We have the devil energy as well as the Wheel of Fortune card, and then, of course, our very final outcome cards. I pulled some for the first couple of weeks of October, and it does look as though there's some kind of a father figure that's coming through here. I'm just going to give you the synopsis and then break it down into more specific elements here. So just in general, and again, this is Career Money Finance. What's happening is the father figure or someone who's a masculine, I feel, is coming through here with some kind of a gift, whether this is from the spirit world and this is coming forward, or more literal in the physical, a male figure that is prominent here in providing you with some kind of gift from the universe or giving you a gift, period. And again, of course, it's a birthday month for those in September and October. So for sure there is strong likelihood there is going to be some gift exchange. But nonetheless, we also have something that in general speaks to a higher commitment, something that may still be hidden, not yet seen, but it is still coming through here. But there is an element that this could be a little bit slower, but there's clarity. So there is an idea that something is going to be more long-term, something more official. Could be, again, a job for some of you, because for some of you, this resonates for me as a job also. Also a position that's coming through that could be governmental, could be, structure, something of more of an organized business that is working with a larger number of people, that kind of thing. So there is going to be some offer or something that's going to be coming clear here in the next short while. May not yet be presenting itself, though, in that first 2 weeks, but there is something in the works. There's energy around that. And I do feel how energy works is that the energy is there for you to make use of. It's not something that is gifted, as in you sit idle and nothing happens. This is action for sure. It is you having to see that the energy is available for you. You have to move. You won't know that the energy is there until you actually make a move to proceed on something, and then you realize that it's manifesting. But at the same token, this is where the energy lays for the month of October, again for Libra, so that you actually do have some movement going in this direction. Where things seem to have been restricted before in around career, money, finance, as I said, I do feel like your worry, your anxieties, overburden, being strapped for cash possibly here, feeling that you've got a lot of weight on your shoulders financially, seems to be balancing itself out here. And again, we've got the Libra card, so this is you coming through in the reading more than once here. So there is a level of balance, and I do feel like you're going to be much more empowered, or feeling a lot more I don't know, centered, I guess is maybe the word I'm looking for, in this month. Because, this is a card of logic. These represent you as well, logic and fairness. And I just feel overall that there's certainly a strong degree of balance in a lot of different cards here that are coming through. So we also have the card of the Judgment, and we also have what's coming through with the page, and it's good news. And this is coming through as money. So the Judgment card is bringing through something that is, could even be a spiritual awakening that's coming through as well. But we are focusing more so on career, money, finance. But I do feel like there is a level of restriction around you feeling more practical in the way that you would use the money, or in the way that you are going forward in this month. I don't feel like there is a lot of let loose and, and waste money. I feel like you're really slowing down to figure out what your next moves will be in this month in October. I feel like it is a really controlled, grounded type of energy with all of these pentacles coming through. But again, the major players, the major cards would be, you thinking a little more on the lines of clear cut justice. This is a mature energy. This is a father figure. This is energy around someone who is methodical and, has been around the block and is not jumping in a chaotic way with their money. There's definitely a lot of structure and organization and really thinking things out about how to go forward. And a lot of these cards here as well with the High Priestess, this is energy around old soul. So this is, it can be somebody who's coming across as a little bit more mysterious. This could be you, a little bit more mysterious, but still very practical in nature, very decisive. Not a lot of highs and lows in this month. Just feels like it's very centered, grounded energy. And again, even a holding back or a bit of a restraint in the way that you're going forward. I do feel like, as I say, the wheels are turning here. There's something that's going in your favor. I mean, with the Justice card here as well, we also have the gift from the universe. But again, these are the clarifiers. But there is also this major card of a major arcana of wheels turning in your favor. And of course, we also have the Page of Pentacles. So this is new money, new ideas. This is going back to school for some of you. This is, definitely some kind of new learning that's coming through. And again, I'm just doing a general synopsis and then I'll pull it through with a little more clarity here. The Devil energy here, this is pretty much in the last 2 weeks of the month, I feel is just in around a little bit of sadness and worry. And again, this is probably about the middle of the month. You're still feeling the heaviness, the burden of something on you. But I feel like this is some negative thinking here. So even though things are moving in your favor here and there is something coming through, I feel like there's been a lot of energy around feeling down, depressed, a little bit more restricted in some way, negative thinking, as I said. But there's a healing taking place here with that star card. So I feel like there is a reason for you to be optimistic and you're going to be coming out of that energy. You're still very guarded, still very defensive in moving the way that you're moving forward. There is still energy here around some confusion, but there's also options that are available to you. And of course, with the Ten of Pentacles, this is definitely money coming through by the end of that month. But there is going to be some kind of clarity or certainty around money. As I say, maybe you are hearing about something in this first week or toward that middle week, but there is going to be something that comes through in around that very last week. There is, again, a lot of guarded uncertainty, confusion, but by the end of October, there is, working together. There is a decision that's made, and there is definitely energy around wish fulfillment, complete and amazing happiness with family, and just overall, your emotional state is grounded, centered. This is legacy money. All of this is kind of where things are sort of focused. So just to break it down a little bit more, and again, I'll just go over some of the cards from the other first reading that I sent out for October that I didn't get to read because my phone is short on memory. But anyway, I'll throw these out here. So we'll be going through the Osho deck with cards of compromise, cards of integration. These are the advice cards, and we are the world, and aloneness, fighting, and the rebel. And I'll get through those two. And if I can do some additional cards with the fortune reading, I will do that as well. But we'll start with this. So, again, as I mentioned, in looking at the King of Swords energy is somebody who's very established, doesn't really mince words, somebody who's quite intellectual, deals with things from a logical perspective. So, whether this is you or someone else, but it's definitely somebody that's very highly principled. And this is, again, Libra energy that's also coming through here. But it is also that sense of empowerment in a lot of the cards here. I do feel like this is having high standards in this month. I do feel like you're not wavering or flexible in the way that you're moving forward this month. I feel like there's a lot of energy, just being careful in the way that you move forward financially, for sure. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, of course, coming through with that card, but it's definitely about just again communicating effectively, being very concise in the way that you phrase things. And I just feel there's a calm, cool, collected sort of energy around the beginning of the month, at least, for sure. But I do feel like there will be some kind of a choice that has to be made by the end of the month. So again, money is coming through here. There is definite, very, very strong energy, very positive energy, things to look forward to. But I do feel like there is still some research that is going to be kind of up ahead here with that Page of Swords. So again, you've got the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is the gift from the universe. So this is being gifted to you. You are the air sign, and definitely, I understand that we're looking at birthday months. So I mean, as I say, there's gift exchange of some sort that's likely to come through. But I feel like the universe is really looking after you here. So again, we've got that Ace of Cups, and that does introduce new energy in around new job cycles. For some of you, as I said, for some of you, this is an opportunity that's coming through on a work front. Does feel like for some of you, it could be more paperwork oriented, administrative, if that is you that I'm speaking to, if it resonates with you. Others, this could be more official, more professional. But again, it's still, somebody who's coming through with a lot of paperwork, a lot of ideas, and again, a lot of structure with that Hierophant energy coming out there as well. So, but again, there's a lot of energy around, like I said, there's a lot of energy around water here at the end. So there's a lot of emotions that are sparked more toward the end of the month versus the beginning. The beginning of the month, I feel, is just a little bit more along in the mind. You're stuck in your head a little bit here, is what I would say here as well. You may be communicating effectively, like I said, but I do feel with the Ace of Cups, there's something here that's coming in that's at a beginning stage, whether this is a work situation that you're going to be embarking on or some kind of new way of approaching something, but it's an idea around that. It could be, again, something that inspires you, but it's an innovative idea for some of you, and for others, this is a new job. But it's definitely a gift from the universe, something that's going to help you to gain, in the month of October. And again, it really feels like there's some kind of big ticket item here, a big ticket, process that's where things are ending up here anyway in the month of October, because things are really expanding for you financially, but very, very grounded energy here. So, the other part of the month, as I said, with the Hierophant, that's a major arcana that's coming through. And again, we also had that Wheel of Fortune. So I do feel like this is a longer standing situation, whatever this is for you, a longer standing commitment. So whether this is you moving into a new job, that's working with a larger corporation, or whether or not you are in this, not just working alongside in a partnership, but actually working for this corporate entity. But either way, this is traditional energy, and so is the energy around, I feel, with the Ace or the King of Swords, as well as that Knight of Pentacles. Very strong traditional energy. This is strong commitment to something that you're doing as well. methodical, slow process to bring something out as well. So I just don't feel like you're doing anything in haste in this month. It feels like everything is just very slow and steady. But again, I do feel like there's some connection to organization groups, again, corporate structure of some sort, because there is an established way of doing something that is moving things ahead. And for some of you as well, this could be just a long-standing type of career that you're moving into as well. But whatever this is, it is definitely more slower moving energy, but very grounded energy. And so you're going to be able to really build on a structure of some sort in the month of October. The other part of it is, you know, again, because this is a real stable, down to earth kind of energy here, I feel like, you know, for some of you, you might be getting a little bit of outside advice here um, to go ahead and do something. But I feel for the most part, this is really involving a lot of uh, traditional, like I said, energy that's going to move something ahead. So moving on past that, and of course with the Hierophant, like I said, or sort of the High Priestess, this is still energy around something that's yet to kind of, you know, completely surface. So something is in the works here in that first week of October, but it is something that's still hidden. And whether this is, you know, maybe the job hasn't come fully to the forefront. But either way, it is Cancerian energy as well. That's kind of secondary to the reading here. But I do feel like you're kind of making, you know, what it was impossible kind of become possible. And you're really taking the ground root actions to make that happen. There's also a sense of, you know, something obviously, as I say, being unknowable, but there's also a bit of energy around, I don't want to say full repression, but maybe just holding back on something here. You know, whether this is keeping finances hidden, whether this is keeping a situation not very visible. You're not very open. That's what I would say. You're not very open in the first 2 weeks here. So, and of course, we've got the Eight of Swords. So you're worrying about something. This is a situation where there's a lot of, you know, anxiety, how you're going to get through the month. First couple of weeks there, I feel like you've got some burdens. You're still sort of working through how to balance things out. But there is definitely, as I said, a card of judgment coming through here. So there's some kind of awakening. There's an awareness. There's something that is being brought to your attention here that's going to help you to move forward. Judgment card is a really big card of a significant awakening. So there's some kind of big decision or big, you know, something significant that's happening for the majority of you here that is going to really bring something forward. The and again with the Devil card there too, I do feel like there's been some struggles. You know, I definitely, you know, this could be energy, but there is healing again, but there's definitely that energy around um, also needing to not be tempted in any way to kind of deviate off a path of morals, that kind of thing. You really want to make sure that you are just making sure that your fears are, you know, kept in the background here, because you're really being given an opportunity that is really going to bring about some very amazing gifts here at the end of the month. So this is success. So I'll just shift right down to the Wheel of Fortune here. So again, the Wheel of Fortune, amazing card. It's moving something ahead. You definitely have things moving in your favor here. Wheel of Fortune also brings about significant advancements. But again, this is new money and it is around money. It is around something moving forward for you, as I said, but it's also just a connection to luck, you know? So there's something unexpected that's coming through here that's in around finances. It's synchronicities, it's things lining up, but it's also discovering your life purpose. So whatever this is, I feel like it's a long-term connection to something that is career oriented. I do feel like you've got some real strong tendencies here to go into a partnership, because we do have this ending up on the Lover's card. So, and again, this is career, money, finance. So there's some kind of a partnership here that could be significant for a lot of you or some of you. But I do feel like whatever this is, I feel like you're actually kind of reevaluating something here as well. but there's just so much energy here around options and things opening up for you. And again, even with the Nine of Wands energy, this is still forward movement. This is still, even though there's a guardedness, there's a sense at the end of the month that you might still be tested with something here, but there is a real strong determination that's coming in here. And maybe the test is in regards to something that you are, a negativity or some kind of I don't want to say addictions for everything that's devil oriented, but something that you just may be more prone to indulge in. And maybe that is sort of a final test by the end of the month. Maybe you're feeling fatigue or setbacks in some way here. But either way, there is definitely, possibly a little bit of a pause there at the very end of the month before something moves forward. But I do feel like, whatever delays or whatever thing that is kind of holding things back for just a second, literally, is definitely opening up, because that was the main card. That's not a clarifier. The 10 of Pentacles is a main card. That is the one that is coming through by the end of the month. And again, some of this is going to resonate out a little further for some of you, but the 10 of Pentacles with the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, and they all came out together, is fantastic energy. It is wish fulfillment. The 10 of Pentacles is for sure that energy that's, established energy. So again, this could be inheritance for some, but I mean, it doesn't feel like incredible sadness. So, I mean, if it is, somebody's passing, this might be a passing that is expected. I don't feel like it's a sudden situation, but whatever this is for you, some of this might be just, wealth that's being passed down, a business being passed down, something of that nature. But either way, this is definitely something about self-employment. Usually I see the King of Wands out for that, but for the most part, I just feel like there's a lot of going forward here in terms of job security with that 10 of Pentacles. And of course, wish fulfillment. There's something that you've wanted here, something you work towards, something you've invested in, whether this is even money that's coming through on a win of some sort. If you were buying the tickets routinely, and you don't have to buy 500 tickets if it is a lotto for some of you, because if it's meant to be yours, you just are buying the right ticket. And to be quite frank, I actually have known people that have won the lotto, several, in fact. But something, word to the wise, I guess, is definitely, to invest in more than one thing. Some people did lose the money that did win, and they were large, substantial wins. So, but anyway, it's not to say everybody out here has to go buy a lotto ticket. For some of you, this really is just a new lucrative business venture. Others, it's a new job that has some really fine points of financial wealth over the long haul, because this is also very practical energy that's coming in. So even if there is some kind of a win, the money might be put into something that is more long-term and practical. I don't feel like this is, chaotic energy in any way. It feels like this is empowerment. It feels like this is abundance. This is money that you're going to be putting into learning something new, something that is established. And you could even be investing money into a business that is fairly established, something that has been, held out for a period of time. But none of this is destructive energy. All of this is constructive energy, except for the self-sabotage card there. Most of this is worrying in the head, that kind of thing. And again, there's sort of some kind of final test at the end of the month that is going to be coming through for a lot of you. Again, just for those that resonate, this is a general energy, but that Nine of Cups energy, there is definitely something that's coming through that is a wish. So again, just to tidy it up here, there is possible contract of some sort, business, but it feels like it's going to be something that is longer term involvement. So I'm going to just jump right into these other cards. This I will read from the book because I don't know it that well. The Osho cards, I don't really read all that much, but they are amazing cards nonetheless. So we're going to start out with, actually, maybe I'll just do it this way. We'll start out with the card of compromise. So the card of compromise is all about, normally you would think these cards are just straightforward and it's all about just finding compromise, but that's not entirely true with the Osho deck. So the card of compromise is, and again, we've got like the other cards, even in tandem, they all work together along the side of basically feeling like you're maybe a little bit more alone in this month, but you're sort of integrating some of your own thoughts to really make something happen. So, okay, just trying to get things organized here. So the compromise is really a card. How the book depicts it is don't be clever. Just remain, otherwise you will remain the same. So the point of compromise is to grow. This is not something that is, done as a half technique here. This is something where you're on a path, um, where you're trying to create something. But when you do compromise, you also, the way the card depicts it is when you compromise, you're also doing something halfway. And so you're up against your ego, basically. And so when you're up against the ego, that's a little bit more of a dangerous space to be in, because it really indicates that there is going to be more confusion. You're creating more confusion. So you want to try to understand why you're looking for compromise. You really want to be decisive in this month of October, because it says sooner or later you will be able to understand that compromise is not going to help. Compromise may be a way of not going in either direction, or it may be just a repression of your confusion. It will assert itself. Never repress anything. Be clear-cut about your situation. If you're confused, remember you're confused. This will be the first clear-cut thing about you, that you are confused. But you have started on the journey. So I feel like you really need to be very decisive about how you're going ahead here. The next card out is integration. Okay, and integration is all about, sorry, just trying to find it here. Integration is all about conflict within you. So I feel in this month there is almost like two selves, is the way the card depicts it. So unless that's resolved, there's going to be politics that are going on within you. And because of that, it's dividing the mind. So it's you working against you. It talks about a very small bridge that exists, and if the bridge is broken, whether this is by accident or through some psychological or physiological defect or something else, you become split in some sense. And I mean, it does make a reference to schizophrenia. I don't know that that's necessarily the case, obviously, here, but this is just metaphoric, and it certainly speaks to the bridge being very fragile. So if you're operating as two different people, working one against yourself, so, mood swings is really how it references in this depiction. It talks about being very loving in the morning, and then by evening you're very angry, but they're both very different mood states. So it's really about, it says you don't remember your morning, so how can you remember? Another mind was functioning, and the person becomes two persons. So if this bridge is strengthened so much that the two minds disappear as two and become one, then integration, crystallization occurs. So it's a meeting of the left and the right. It's the meeting of the logic and the illogic. And that is what you're supposed to be headed toward here this month, is trying to integrate the parts of yourself that are sort of warring within. The We Are the World card is, again, that was just slightly different from what you would think it would be. But the We Are the World card says, thousands and thousands of people around the earth are celebrating, singing, dancing, ecstatic. There's no possibility of any kind of global annihilation, because there's festivity, there's laughter, there's sanity, there's health, there's naturalness, spontaneity. So how can there be war? Life has been given to you to create and to rejoice and to celebrate. When you cry and you weep, when you are miserable, you are alone. When you celebrate, the whole existence participates with you. Only in celebration do we meet the ultimate, the eternal. Only in celebration do we go beyond the circle of birth and death. So I think that's really what they're trying to say here, is that don't take life so seriously in the month of October. Try to merge the parts of yourself that are sort of fragmenting this month. And I feel like you are going deeper. I feel like you are in that place of contemplation and trying to work through some stuff here for sure, especially given what happened in the previous read that I did for October. But aloneness is all about not being alone. So when you are alone, you are not alone. You are simply lonely. And there is a tremendous difference between loneliness and aloneness. When you are lonely, you are thinking of the other. You're missing the other. Loneliness is the negative state. You are feeling. So it's better You think that sorry, you think it's better if someone was there, if a friend or family member, mother, father, whatever it is, whatever it is you feel that is separate from you, you feel that if that person was there, somehow you would be, more aligned, you'd be happier, something would be more in alignment for you. But that loneliness is absence of the other. However, aloneness is the presence of oneself. Aloneness is actually positive. It is that energy of overflowing presence, being full of presence, so that you can fill the whole universe with your presence. And there's no need for anybody. So it's being happy with yourself and finding some sense of inner peace, because again, all these cards seem to coincide. So the card of fighting is all about the same thing, fighting the parts of yourself that you're trying to integrate this month. I feel like you're trying to get a sense of inner peace going. Let me just see if I can find that one. I might go back to that one here, but I'm just going to skip ahead to the rebel. So the rebel, of course, is that energy about people are afraid, very much afraid of those who know themselves. They have a certain power, a certain aura, and a certain magnetic charisma that draws attention. And so people that are quite traditional also find that they're in a sense of imprisonment. But the enlightened man cannot be enslaved, and he cannot be imprisoned. Every genius who has known something of the inner is bound to be a little difficult to be absorbed and is going to be an upsetting force. So the masses don't want to be disturbed. Even though they may be in misery, they are in misery, but they are accustomed to the misery. And anybody who is not miserable looks like a stranger. The enlightened man is the greatest stranger in the world. He does not seem to belong to anybody. No organization confines him, no community, no society, and no nation. So I feel like you really need to be a rebel this month, and you really need to stand up for yourself. There has to be conviction. There's got to be a sense of understanding within yourself primarily. This is not something external. A lot of this really just feels like internal work that you need to do here. And I'll go back to the fighting card. Sorry, I have to look for that one here, but it definitely is energy around you really working through something for sure on a spiritual internal level. Let me just see where I can find this one here, guys, and then we'll wrap this up. I just have a couple more cards that go with the Sharina star. But the fighting card is actually you mastering the mind. So that one makes sense here as well. So this is in around the energy of one moment it was there, another moment it is gone. One moment we are here, and another moment we have gone. And for the simple moment, how much fuss we make, how much violence, ambition, struggle, conflict, anger, hatred, just for this small moment. Just waiting for the train in a waiting room on a station and creating so much fuss, fighting, hurting each other, trying to possess, trying to boss, trying to dominate, all that politics. And then the train comes and you're gone forever. So I think there's a certain awareness in that for sure. Just to find an inner peace within yourself and not look at things from that perspective of lack. And again, just to finish it up here, final cards out. These are the fortune reading cards, and it's Sharina Star. So the ones I've got here: Flowers, Fool, Judgment, Lovers. So again, these cards really speak to something blossoming, something changing. There's definitely some kind of a connection here as well. The Flowers energy speaks to something blossoming, as I said here. So it's definitely being grateful for where you are. It is an abundant time in October, but it's also representing beauty, and it's about, taking care of yourself and really putting some time and energy into you. It's also energy around successful new projects, dreams, goals, things along that nature. Very upbeat card, and certainly coupled by the Fool, very upbeat card, kind of going into things, trying to find more of a naive innocence in life again, sort of starting anew is really what that card comes through with. The Fool card is still that energy of new projects, unrealized potential, setting forth on a journey and just uncharted territory, all of that. So it's really time to go out and leave the comfort zone and take a look at some new experiences this month. Try to release yourself from worry and all of those things. It's about having that strength and courage in your abilities, new hobbies coming to the forefront, all of that, learning new skills, studying, kind of reinventing yourself energy. The judgment card, as I said, that is definitely something that is coming through for you that is speaks to something that was intended as well, but of course the card also speaks to soul searching and bringing inner peace and sort of elevating you to new heights. It's also a time where you are evaluating your life, you're reviewing things, really doing a lot of inner work on yourself. You know, did you make the right choices? Looking at your career path, really trying to figure out, gain wisdom on the path forward is really what the judgment card speaks to. So it might be again about news coming in here as well, but it's opening up to new possibilities. And the final card out is that Lover's card. And of course, that one is there are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. So there's the path with the heart. This is not a love reading on this one. So this could be, again, speaking to business partnerships, relationships, making major life choices, anything around that energy. It definitely speaks to very important decisions that you're making because it is very close to the judgment. And again, with the Fool, things starting out, it's a new energy that's coming in here. So this is about something around the corner here that you're about to get in the very near future. This is abundance in some way. So again, there might be a couple of jobs offered here and a decision that needs to be made for some of you, or you're having to make a decision about, you know, if money is coming into you, how you're going to go forward with that, what path will you take, and looking for, because you're a Libra, something is going to have to be, whatever the decision is, it's about balancing things out. So that's what I have for you, and hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight for the month of October. This is an amazing read, and I have to say, very feeling very inspired to start it out. Sorry, just waking up. I'm not a big morning person, but whatever. Anyway, I will do some additional reads here in the next few weeks here. I've been sick for a little bit, so kind of slowly getting back to things again. But anyway, as I said, amazing read. You know, ends on 10 of Pentacles, wish fulfillment, and happiness in all multitude of areas here, even though this is more career, money, finance. But got to tell you, it's just something to look forward to. So keep moving forward and never give up. And we'll see you in the next read. Have a great day, guys.